Picture this just for a second. Imagine a really shrewd businessman. It's late at night, the rest of the world is asleep, but he's hunched over his desk, completely obsessed, meticulously calculating his yearly wealth. He's got his ledgers open, scanning every single figure with these piercing eyes. How much profit do we make? Exactly how much do we lose? He's analyzing the profitable ventures with intense focus, trying to figure out how to squeeze out just a little bit more gain for next year. And the losses? Oh, he's ruthlessly tracking down every single cause so he can cut them off completely. He's awake all night, completely consumed by one singular goal: protecting and growing his capital.
Okay, let's dive into this, because there is a profound contrast here that sits right at the core of human behavior. On one side, we've got our external wealth, right? The profits, the bank balances, the physical goods we stack up. And we guard this stuff with absolute obsession. But on the other side, we have our internal wealth, our peace, our purity, our true divine nature. And as we're going to see in today's explainer, while we account for literally every single penny on the outside, our internal ledger, well, it's often left completely abandoned.
I mean, this is the classic mindset of the material world. It's fast, it's frantic, and it literally never sleeps. This businessman is tracking every profit and loss, checking the bank, the loans, the interest, the physical stock sitting in the godown, the cold hard cash in the safe. If the numbers are up, he's thrilled. If they're down, he's absolutely overwhelmed with anxiety. His absolute biggest fear is, what if my money sinks? He is hyper-vigilant. And honestly, if we're being real with ourselves, most of us operate exactly like this in our day-to-day lives, just constantly tracking our physical assets and worldly gains.
But let me ask you a critical question. We meticulously maintain our physical homes, right? We take care of our bodies. We patch up our roofs when they leak. We get the car serviced. We're constantly upgrading our lives. But what about your real, internal business house? When was the last time you paused to actually do an audit on your soul? We get so incredibly busy maintaining this illusion of the outside world that we completely, and I mean completely, ignore the reality of what's happening inside. So, let's change the pace for a moment. I want you to take a journey with me inward. First, just for right now, drop the external burdens, the worries, the attachments, the infinite little desires you're carrying around. Just leave them at the door, because you physically cannot fit through the dark, narrow alley we need to walk down if you're lugging all that heavy baggage. Now, it might feel a bit uncomfortable at first. It might seem dark, maybe even a bit foul-smelling as we navigate these completely neglected corners of your mind. But keep walking. We are heading towards your true inner business house.
And hey, just in case you're panicking about leaving all those worldly worries behind, don't. Trust me, they're not going to get stolen. They actually really prefer you as their vehicle. They'll sit right there, patiently waiting for you to pick them back up when we're done here. So for now, just let yourself be light. Allow yourself to fully commit to this internal audit.
Section 2. Entering the Inner Sanctum, a Forgotten Palace.
So as we step out of that dark alley, we really should be arriving at something magnificent. I mean, your inner self is meant to be a divine palace, a place filled with endless joy, a beautiful garden of purity, a pristine lake of nectar. It's supposed to be this heavenly realm. But what's the actual reality? What on earth has happened here? It's honestly a state of absolute shock and dismay. Why is there so much chaos? There are literal bats living inside what should be a grand palace. Somebody routed a dirty, foul-smelling drain straight into the lake of nectar. The pillars of light are broken and shattered. And there are donkeys, yes, donkeys, rolling around destroying the divine garden. This isn't a sanctuary anymore. It is a scene of utter, tragic ruin.
How did it even get like this? Well, your inner kingdom has basically been taken over by an unchecked bureaucracy of bad habits. Because you left, because you completely abandoned your inner home to focus entirely on the outside world, the servants took over. Wild desires, bad habits, and unchecked impulses are just running the show now. Whoever wants to do whatever they please just does it. And in the process, they turn your heavenly lake into a total swamp.
So the crucial point is, when did you last check your spiritual account books? The physical weight of all those burdens you carry on the outside has kept you from ever looking at this massive mess on the inside. You've been so incredibly busy balancing the books of your worldly affairs that your inner ledger has just been completely abandoned.
Let's do a direct side-by-side comparison here. In your physical business, your daily cash books are written meticulously, right? You know where every cent goes. But your spiritual business, those account books have been completely blank for years. Physically, you've got this constant, laser focus on growing your capital. But spiritually, you haven't deposited a single penny of goodness in years. You're just living off old, draining deposits. You have this intense, gripping fear of financial bankruptcy, and yet you walk around in complete ignorance of your looming spiritual bankruptcy.
And let's be really clear about what we mean by that. Spiritual bankruptcy is the state of having completely outsourced the management of your own soul. You've forgotten your own consciousness, you're living on entirely depleted inner capital, and worst of all, you're carrying around this incredibly heavy debt of poor choices and neglected duties. I mean, if you keep operating at a loss like this, eventually you're going to go bankrupt. And what happens to you then?
The really tragic irony here is how we respond to this hidden crisis. We just wander aimlessly, clinging to our mortal attachments, like a monkey tightly clutching its baby to its chest. It's such a powerful, almost desperate image, isn't it? We wrap our arms around these temporary, material things that are inevitably going to fade away, and we parade them around as if they are our true wealth, all while being entirely blind to the fact that our inner kingdom is literally crumbling into dust.
Section 3. The Hidden Enemies, Searching the Shadows. It's time to take a very honest and frankly, kind of an uncomfortable look at ourselves. Because, from a distance, we all like to think of ourselves as innocent, pure, highly moral people. But the unexamined soul, it is hiding a multitude of flaws. When we actually look closely, we find it filled with bad intentions, deceit, and crookedness. And these negative traits are clever. They just sit quietly in the dark corners, hiding their true forms so you don't even realize they're there. Ignorance completely clouds the heart. We falsely start believing that external objects define our worth, and we remain completely trapped in this illusion of mortal wealth.
But there is a massive wake-up call in our source material, and it hits hard. Listen to this. O pure one, recognize yourself. Do not forget your real business. Calculate how much you have lost and how much you have destroyed. This is a command to awaken. You are meant to be complete, to evolve, to recognize your own incredible spiritual power. Stop ignoring the destruction inside. Actually sit down, open that ledger, and calculate the immense loss you've taken by neglecting your true self.
I really want you to let this question sink in for a moment. All this exhausting effort, all this endless, back-breaking labor you put into gathering physical, material things, is it truly meaningful? Or are you, at the end of the day, just building mountains of sand? And if they are just sand, are they actually safe from a single inevitable gust of wind? You are sweating through the heat and the cold to build something that the winds of time are just going to blow away in an instant. So we're presented with another powerful directive here. O immortal, reflect on your true form and true duty. Do not be tempted by imitations. Seek the real. Seriously, stop chasing the fake wealth. Stop letting the glittering imitations of the outside world distract you from the eternal, indestructible wealth that already exists within you. It's time to turn your face inward. So how do we actually fix this? How do we reclaim that inner kingdom? Well, it takes 3 very practical steps. Step 1, look inside yourself every single day. Make it a daily practice, exactly like that businessman checking his daily cash book. Step 2, light a torch. Shine the bright light of awareness to find those negative thoughts and demons hiding in the dark corners of your mind. And step 3, throw them out. Just evict them from your palace. Only then is your inner, divine garden ever going to become lush and green again. Which leaves us with one final, really profound thought to consider. You know exactly what your bank balance is, right? You know the value of your house, your car, your investments. But consider this. How much have you lost and how much have you gained inside? It's time to balance the inner ledger. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to spend just a few moments today calculating your true wealth. Catch you next time.